Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about my second productivity tip, and that is going to be on the expectancy theory. Also known as the expectancy theory of motivation, this basically proposes that an individual will behave or act in a certain way because they are motivated to select a specific behavior over others due to what they expect the result of that selected behavior will be. Now, the expectancy theory is all about our mental processes of choice, how we go about choosing things in our day-to-day lives. It basically tries to explain or at least understand the processes that an individual goes through as they make choices. Now, in 1964, a man named Victor H. Froome came up with what he believed was his definition for motivation. He defined it as a process of making choices across various forms of different activities. And most importantly, he defined it to be controlled completely by the individual themselves, not by an external factor. And that's a really key point for today's video. He determined, and really we do see this every day in our own lives, that an individual makes choices based on the estimates of the expected result with how much that will actually lead to the desired results. The theory states that an individual is going to make the choices that will line up with the expected or really their desired outcomes. At its core, the expectancy theory has three main components to it. One is expectancy, two is instrumentality, and three is valence. So I know that's a lot of confusing terms, but I wanted to break down each part so that we can really explore what those terms mean and understand what this theory is all about. The first part, expectancy, is about, well, an individual's expectancy that a certain amount of effort will lead to an intended performance. So for example, if you're at the gym, you know how much effort you need to put in to get to the performance level. The second part, instrumentality, is how that performance is going to get you to your desired outcome. And then using the same type of example, when you're at the gym, if you're trying to build muscle, you know that the put in is going to be lifting weights and more resistance training as opposed to just doing cardio, because you know that cardio is not going to lead to the desired outcome of building muscle. Third is valence, and that's going to be how desirable the certain action is actually going to be to the individual. For example, if you really desire building muscle and having a lean and toned body, then you're going to put in more effort, get to your intended performance, and then get the certain result that you want. That's what's going to motivate you to get there, is that end desirable outcome. And actually that's the main component of this theory that I wanted to touch upon, how we can use this expectancy theory to actually get ahead of our goals and to make sure we're actually reaching them. So in essence, the motivation for us to select a certain behavior is based on our desirability of the outcome. When you really think about it, it makes total sense. Let's take the most easiest example. Let's say you come home after a long day of work and you have either the option of going to the gym for an hour and working out, or sitting on your couch and watching some Netflix. Well, in a lot of cases, we know that the Netflix option is going to win, but let's break it down and see exactly. So the first option, exercising after a long day. Well, it's gonna require you getting dressed, driving yourself to the gym, working out for an hour, which is gonna be sweaty, painful, very tiring, and just something that doesn't seem very appealing. Well, the opposite case is watching Netflix for an hour. Well, you've just had a very long, tiring day. Netflix sounds wonderfully relaxing and satisfying. You know that you're gonna get instantaneous gratification from the content that you want being flooded at you. You're going to enjoy the next hour pain-free and without becoming even more tired than you already are, with minimal effort. And so obviously the Netflix option seems way more desirable. The outcome itself seems more desirable, and because of that, we're going to be motivated to pick that. So that's what the expectancy theory is saying. Our motivation is going to depend on not just the outcome that a certain action is going to take, but how desirable that outcome actually seems to us. So now that we know what expectancy theory is, we want to know how we can actually overcome it and reach our goals, because it's all about being more productive with our time. Well, the first thing, amount of effort you have to put into anything is going to depend on that action itself. The second thing is your performance. You could, for example, put in more effort into something to get a better amount of performance, but you know that, for example, exercising is going to naturally take up more effort than just sitting and watching Netflix. So you can't really change effort or performance. You kind of know what the outcomes will be. That's why you even think about doing certain actions in the first place, because of their end result. And you can't really change those either. You know what you're gonna get out of watching Netflix, and you know what you're gonna get out of from working out. So what can you change? Well, you can change the final component, and that is valence, which was the desirability of the outcome. So instead of seeing exercising as something that's long and tiring and painful and stressful in your body, look at it as a stress reliever, something that's gonna get your heart pumping, it's gonna get you to your fitness goals faster, it's gonna make you feel better at the end of the day, you're gonna get that endorphin rush, you're gonna sleep better, you're gonna think better, you're gonna move better, and really it's just gonna get you towards your long-term goals faster, whether those are fitness related or not. On the other hand, you can change your desirability of watching Netflix. Instead of seeing it as instant satisfaction or a relaxation technique, you can see it as something that you're not really learning from, you're being kind of unproductive, and you might even feel guilty at the end of doing really nothing for an hour. You didn't learn anything from the content you took in, most likely. You just put your feet up and you stared at a screen for an hour, which is not very good for your mental, your emotional, or really your physical health. And you're not really working towards any of your long-term goals. So once you change the desirability, you're gonna see that actually working out for an hour is gonna be so much more desirable than watching Netflix for an hour. And that's what you can change in the expectancy theory. Now that working out seems more desirable, your motivation is going to go towards working out, and you're going to be more motivated to do that over sitting at home doing nothing. And really, you can use this in any aspect of your life. Whether you find yourself procrastinating and you have assignments or schoolwork due, if you have a work proposal that you need to be working on, but instead you're doing things in the kitchen or you're cleaning for no apparent reason, yeah, those things are productive in itself, but when you look at the true desirability of it, getting your work done is going to help you reach your long-term goals of graduating, of getting a promotion, anything like that. And so those items become more desirable, and therefore you can shift your motivation to pursue those activities instead. Alright guys, so that's all I have for this video and on the expectancy theory. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button below, and I hope to see you here next week for another video. Bye!